Hello, my answer files. How are you guys doing today? I just want to do a quick video to talk about something that happened the other day that has not happened in a very, very long time. I get comments all the time from trolls. I get comments from people who disagree with me, people who have agendas to push, the flat earthers and that kind of thing. I've learned over the years to just let go of most of the comments that I get, especially the negative ones. If somebody comes on, they're just a total asshole, I just ban them because who has time? Me arguing with them is not going to fix anything, and in general, my comment section is a better place without them, and I get told that on a regular basis. Anyway, but I got a comment the other day that rattled me. It really got under my skin. I was up at night, unable to sleep, thinking about it. Actually, thinking about like what kind of response I would, like I had to find the right response for this guy. And that's something that hasn't happened in a long time. I remember one time I was on an airplane and somebody, this was way back when I was still new at this, and somebody had left a comment and I just couldn't let it go. And the flight attendant was like telling me to put my phone away, and I'm like, no, I have to respond to this guy. I haven't been like that in a very long time, but I was like that with this guy. And what I've learned over the years is that when somebody at this point that does a comment that gets under my skin like that, when that happens, it's usually because there's some kernel of either truth about it or it speaks to a very insecure place. Like it speaks to something that is very sensitive to me. So when this happened, that's part of the reason why I couldn't stop thinking about it, because I was like, okay, what is it about this that's really getting to me? What is it about this comment that I can't just let it go the way I can let go of other things? And the reason why is because it affects you guys, or it speaks to something that you guys might be thinking, or a fear that I have that you guys might be thinking about something. And I wanted to speak to it. I wanted to bring this up just to clear the air and make sure that I'm not just staying up late at night, unable to sleep for no reason. It was a comment on the Model 3 reveal video, the video where I showed off my Model 3 delivery or whatever. First of all, I did that video for two reasons. One is because so many people have been asking for it, and so many people have been following me on this whole journey or whatever this whole time. So I knew a lot of people wanted to see it. That was one thing. And another thing was my channel ranks pretty well for Tesla keywords and for talking about that subject. Those types of videos generally do pretty well. I'll also say that in the lead up to getting my car, I guess just to satiate my my angst about the whole thing, I was literally watching like any Model 3 video that came my way. And I think because of that, YouTube was sending me pretty much every Model 3 video that was coming out. And so I guess in my mind, I was like, well, wow, YouTube's really sharing Model 3 videos. I should do a video with the Model 3. And I think I've said in other places here and maybe on my TMI channel that, it's probably something that's going to be sort of a part of my channels from now on. Not in a big way, but it's just going to be there. I'll be doing videos about it here and there. Because this is something that I talk about on my channel a lot. The whole transition to sustainable energies and the transition to electric cars and that kind of thing. It's something I've always believed in, and well, I'll get back to that in a minute. But anyway, without further ado, let me bring up this comment, and I'm just going to read through it and respond to it and let you know why this bothered me so much. So let me click here for you. All right, so first of all, a guy commented and said, who are the assholes that gave this a thumbs down? The car looks awesome, Joe. Congratulations. That was all very nice. So this guy responded. Of course somebody calls while I'm in the middle of doing this. Never mind. So this guy responded, I voted down for a lack of ethics and respect as well as poor content. Okay. It's no secret that Joe loves Tesla and Musk for the wrong reasons, but that's not the issue. So the video feels like a big advertisement for their latest model, because he complained in one of his other videos that he didn't receive his car and the manufacturer suddenly delivered it, bypassing all the other customers that are still waiting. It's only a win-win for Tesla and Joe. Okay, I've heard this in a couple of other places, which that could not be more untrue. Anybody who has been following this whole thing knows that it has been delay after delay after delay for me. Not just because of bad luck or whatever, but also because I live in Texas. It's just going to come with the territory there because of rules and whatnot. But, I mean, yeah, there were people that were ordering their cars way after I did and were receiving it way earlier than I did. So that's just, I mean, the guy's just way off the mark already on that. That's not really the part that bothers me, though. This is the part that bothers me. He says, and have you, he's responding to the other guy, or Joe for that matter, given any thought about the Patreons who supported Joe so that he can continue making his videos, not to buy the car that he dreams owning? They must feel like their money has been misappropriated and they get to see this video where he brags about his new expensive car in their face. This is where the guy really shines. Were Joe being a politician, those 2 points, advertisement for Tesla and misuse of Patreon's money, would be enough to send him to jail. Hopefully for him, his Patreons will not convict him for embezzlement or crookedness. And then he goes on to just say that he didn't like the video in general, and for that, whatever. Ironically, at the very end, he says, that said, I'm as happy as Joe is for his car. Seems like a nice car, good for the environment and all that kind of stuff. Mixed bag. Okay. His comments about the video, I didn't even respond. Whatever. People, not every video is going to be liked by everybody, and it was definitely a departure from what I normally do. But of course, the thing about you guys, I have not been able to stop thinking about and worrying about. And he's not the only person that said it. And again, I know there's just trolls that are going to say things, and there's people that are going to, people have to comment and say things like that. But the thought that any of you guys would be, contributing to this channel and donating and being a part of this and being so incredibly generous, and then feel like I took that money to go do something frivolous and then show it off and shove it in your face kind of thing, that has literally kept me up at night. I hate the idea that somebody out there might think that. Now that's the emotional side of me. The rational side says that you guys have been nothing but incredibly, overwhelmingly supportive when I first put the pictures up. I mean, I showed you guys before I showed anybody. Every comment that I've gotten has been, congratulations, maybe a little, I'm jealous here or there or whatever. I haven't had anybody from Patreon say anything like that. But that doesn't mean that nobody out there is thinking it. Now, again, the rational side of me kicks in and says, well, if they feel that bad about it, we're all adults and they can stop donating anytime they want. They're not locked into this. And I haven't seen a big surge of people leaving or anything. But I still feel like it's worth discussing and talking about. Because that is certainly not the reason why I bought the car. I mean, I think I've articulated that in various different places, but I talk about electric cars all the time on this channel, and I didn't have one. And to me, that just felt not hypocritical, but just like I was not being congruent in my values. I was talking about something that I didn't really know for sure. So I'd wanted to go electric for a really long time. That's why I first put reservation down on this car when they first announced it 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, long before this channel really took off. And so that was a big reason why I got it. I had some people in the comments saying, if you want an electric car, why did you get this really expensive one? You could have gotten something much cheaper. And I totally could have, and I almost did once. But the reason why I decided to go with this is because it has the longest range. It's got over 300 miles of range, and I live in Texas. My family live all over the place. And so for this car to really be functional, it has to go a long way. And, any car that's in the 30,000 or below area that's electric, it's only going to get around 100,000 or 100 miles of charge, and it's just not going to work for what I need. To be honest, the Model 3 gets the longest range for the least amount of money. so far. I mean, it's gonna get better, but so far that's the best that I can do right now. And I didn't go crazy. I didn't get the performance version. I didn't get the all-wheel drive version. I actually got pretty much with the exception of the wheels and the color, those are the only things that jumped up the price at all. Well, I guess autopilot too. Anyway, I know I'm sounding really defensive right now, but those were the reasons why I did it. And something else that I need you guys to know is that your support here on Patreon, it doesn't just pay for my car, even though I do have the buy me a Tesla thing, but that the tier, it's a joke. I think you guys all understand that is totally just a joke. There's 2 people right now that I have on my team, and a third that is joining. I have not paid this third person yet, but the 2 people that are on my team, you guys make that possible. Or you guys are a part of me being able to make that possible. It's not just, yes, I'm spending a lot of money on a car. I'm also spending a lot of money on people and contributing to their lives in some way. And they're contributing to this channel, and the channel is growing. That is, I hope, what you guys signed up for. I hope that you guys signed up to support the content on this channel and to support the growth of this channel. And that's exactly what you're doing. And that's exactly where it's going. And by the way, I see buying the Model 3 as sort of part of that growth. It's sort of like an investment in the channel, because it's something that I can use to make videos with that are congruent, again, with the topics of the channel and what I'm trying to say here. So that's sort of my defense of that. But I do want to know, and the reason why I'm putting this out there openly to you guys is because I want to hear if there's anybody out there that really feels that way. Again, I know that we're all adults here and nobody so far has said anything, but again, doesn't mean that somebody out there isn't thinking it, feeling ripped off or something like that. I really want to hear it, and I want to hear what can be done to maybe help people not to feel that way. Because again, it has kept me up at night thinking about it. I've also been thinking a lot about, just in general with Patreon, what's good for you guys and how to deliver the perks that you guys deserve. I should say this, like, maybe the reason why this thing, I'm clearly just being all introspective today. Maybe the reason why this thing bothers me so much is because I feel like I'm always walking around with sort of a low level of guilt, with this base level of guilt all the time about Patreon. That I'm not giving you guys enough perks, that I'm not delivering what you want, that I'm not spending enough time. In all the other areas that I make money on the channel, it's very cut and dried and it's very black and white. It's very easy. Google runs ads on my YouTube videos, so I make AdSense revenue and they make money and the advertisers get exposure. Everybody wins. The sponsorships that I do, they get exposure, they pay me money, I make money, everybody wins. But the Patreon thing isn't so clear. You guys donate to the channel, and in return you get, I guess, a good feeling of supporting someone, but you're supposed to get these perks, and that's for me to deliver on. And especially when things get busy and I'm just trying to crank out videos and get caught up on things, that can slip and slide away really easily. It happens all the time. So I just constantly walk around feeling like I'm not doing enough for my Patreon people. And I think that's why this comment kind of punched me in the gut so much. But on that note, one thing, there's a few things I wanted to talk about in terms of, got some notes I wrote down here. In terms of what I can be doing to make this whole thing a little bit better. The first one is the Facebook group, which is a ghost town. Everybody from $5 and up on Patreon gets access to this secret Facebook group. And first of all, I hate Facebook. I've hated Facebook for a long time. I am barely ever even on there. When the tab on my browser that has Facebook is usually just open to the Messenger app. Like, that's all I use it for. But the Facebook group has been a challenge because it seems like every different way that I try to get people in there, it just doesn't work. I'll give people a link and they'll go and it won't let them in. People will go there and it, try to. I'll invite people and it won't. It's such a pain in the butt. And so anyway, I hate Facebook, but I want to make that. I want to make that perk available. But I don't really have time to get in there and take care of all that stuff. I thought I would put this out there if there was somebody that really wanted to see the Facebook group become a thing for discussions, for polls, for interaction between members and stuff like that. If there's anybody that wanted to kind of take that over and just kind of like be a moderator there or an admin and be the person that sparks the conversations and shares stories, not just mine, but other people's videos and other people's other blog posts and stuff of interest to this community. If somebody wanted to do that, I would be happy to hand that over. And maybe for that one particular person, I could do something special to make it up to you. But it's clearly something I've not been able to really facilitate. And it's something that I either need to get rid of or find a way to make it valuable to people. Because it's just sitting there right now, and that's upsetting to me. The other thing is in Discord. I pop up from time to time in Discord. It's been kind of sitting there. There's only a handful of people that I really see in Discord chatting with each other and stuff. Now, I will say there's some fun stuff going on over there. There's some fun conversations happening. One of the people in there, Yasha, I believe his name is, was suggesting maybe I open up Discord to the general public so that everybody can get in there, because there really hasn't been a lot happening from the Patreon only people. So I guess I wanted to say, like, if you're interested in Discord, and if you want to kind of join the chats that are going on there, or maybe you've never really delved into it but you're curious, go check it out. Go check out the Discord channel. And if I need to put a link somewhere, I will. You can ask in the comments. Somebody can point you to it. Because there's some interesting stuff going on there. It is slower probably than it needs to be, but I wanted to make sure you guys knew about it. I am definitely there more than I am at the Facebook group, for sure. But I also wanted to put that out for those who are in Discord and have are participating in that in some way. Would you be okay with opening it up to the general public and then just having a specific Discord channel for Patreon people? That's been floated. I would want to hear what you guys have to say about that. And last but not least, I have restarted the video chats for the $10 and up people. I did it early this month. Rob Hyodo, sorry man, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. He popped in and we had a nice little conversation. So I'm just gonna announce those, a week or two ahead of time in Patreon. Before, the way I was doing it before was I had a standard Google Calendar alert, and that wasn't really doing the trick. So so I'm gonna get in there and do that. Right now we're looking at Saturday mornings being the best time for everybody involved, especially for me. So that's what I'm looking at there, but I would love to hear any opinions on that. But other than that, any ideas you guys have for Patreon perks, for things we could all do that would be fun to kind of build this community, I am all for it and I want to hear it. But I think this has run a little long. I'll wrap this up. I just wanted to address that comment. And again, if any of you guys feel that way and you need to, you want to let me know about how you feel about that, please do. If you don't want to do it in the comments, you can send me a private message in Patreon. I do want to hear it, and I do want to be able to address those issues and whatnot. So, but again, outwardly, you guys have been nothing but supportive, and I appreciate it so much. I'm just doing a little house cleaning. I'm just making sure everything is on above board. But anyway, I will stop this now. I hope you guys are having a good week, and I appreciate any thoughts you have. So have a good one, and we'll talk soon.